Imagine standing on the edge of a promise, separated only by an impossible barrier. For the nation of Israel, this was the Jordan River, at flood stage a raging torrent, standing between 40 years of wilderness wandering and the land God had sworn to give them. But God doesn't just make promises, He paves the way. When the entire nation had finally crossed the Jordan on dry ground, a miracle echoing the parting of the Red Sea, the Lord gave a command to Joshua. It wasn't just about reaching the destination. It was about ensuring the journey would never be forgotten. He said, "Choose 12 men from among the people, one from each tribe." Joshua, his face illuminated by the desert sun, relayed this divine instruction. He pointed towards the very center of the dry riverbed, where the priests stood faithfully, holding aloft the sacred Ark of the Covenant. His voice was steady, filled with the authority of the one who had sent him. "Tell them to take up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, from right where the priests are standing, and carry them over with you to the place where you stay tonight." This wasn't just manual labor. This was a sacred act of remembrance. Imagine this strain as these 12 chosen men lifted heavy, water-smooth river stones onto their shoulders. Each step they took was deliberate, a physical embodiment of the weight and significance of the moment. These weren't just rocks. They were destined to become storytellers. As the scripture explains, these stones shall serve as a sign among you. When your children ask you, "What do these stones mean?" tell them. And what a story they would tell. A story of water defying its nature. Of a river's flow cut off before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, the stones would stand as an everlasting memorial for Israel. A tangible reminder that with God, the impossible becomes a pathway. That night, at their first camp in the Promised Land, a place called Gilgal, the scene was one of profound awe. Under a vast, starry sky, flickering campfires illuminated the 12 stones, now arranged in a circle. Children gazed with wide-eyed wonder, while their elders watched in reverent silence. The Israelites had done exactly as Joshua commanded, sharing the stones from the heart of the river to their new home, laying down a foundation not of construction, but of consecration. But Joshua did something more. He built a second monument, a secret memorial known only to God and the river. He set up another 12 stones in the very middle of the Jordan, right where the priests' feet had stood firm. And the Bible tells us they are there to this day, hidden beneath the restored waters, a testament of faith that stands even when unseen. With the path secured, the warriors prepared for what lay ahead. About 40,000 armed men from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh marched across the dry riverbed. Shields gleaming and banners waving, they crossed before the Lord, ready to enter the plains of Jericho for war. Their obedience was a powerful display of unity and trust. And on that day, as the sun broke over the horizon, God exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel. The people looked upon their new leader with the same awe and reverence they had held for Moses. They saw that the same God who had worked through Moses was now working through Joshua, and their hearts were filled with hope and respect. The climax of this incredible event was as dramatic as its beginning. The moment the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant ascended from the riverbed and their feet touched the dry ground of the western bank, the waters of the Jordan surged back. With a thunderous roar, the river returned to its flood stage, as if it had been held back by an invisible, almighty hand that had only just released its grip. Back at the camp in Gilgal, Joshua addressed the people once more, arranging the 12 stones brought from the river. As the morning light glinted off their smooth surface, he gave the charge that would echo through their history. In the future, when your descendants ask their parents, "What do these stones mean?" tell them, Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. This miracle was a deliberate parallel to their history. It was a direct link to the generation before, a powerful reminder that the God of their fathers was still their God today. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what he had done to the Red Sea when he dried it up until we had crossed over. 2 miracles. 2 generations. 1 faithful God. He bridges the gap not just over impossible waters, but over time itself. Why go to such lengths? Why the stones, the memorials, the commands to tell the story? The scripture gives us the beautiful, ultimate purpose. Who did this? So that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God. These stones still speak to us today. They remind us to look back at our own Jordan River moments, the impossible situations God brought us through. What are the stones of remembrance in your life? For has God done for you that you must never forget, and that you must pass on to the next generation? His faithfulness, then, is his promise to us now. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that brings faith to life. Let's continue to remember and declare what the Lord has done. God bless you.